Hello fellow gamers and welcome back to another completion video. Today we'll be doing something special with another challenging completion that would put to the test my relationship with my girlfriend as well as my patience. This video we'll be going through all 11 of Overcooked's achievements and see if by the end if I end up homeless or not. Loading up the game for the first time, we were put into a prologue mission that shows you what the story of this game is, and I'm saying story like story because it's not really anything special. It's just there to give you a purpose to why you're doing everything and to keep things going. It does what it needs to do, but it's by no means the most gripping or enticing story. And it's also to show you what the basic controls are. If you notice, even I'm struggling to figure out how to move my character and pick things up and chop things. And here my girlfriend is, who's never really played any games besides maybe like Just Dance on the Wii, and when I force her to play a few games of Mario, and she has no idea what's going on. This was obviously not going to be as easy as I thought it's going to be. But I am very grateful to have her do this with me. Like I said, she doesn't play very many games, so I'm very thankful that she went through this whole video with me and just put in all these hours every night to help me make this video and to get all these achievements. I'm really proud of her for that. Anyways, after we miserably fail, the game planned for this to happen, so I don't want to hear anything from any of you guys. We go back to a spaghetti monsterless time where we can hone our cooking skills and become the Onion Kingdom's next top chef. Alright, now we're on to the real levels, and starting with level 1-1, we get to choose our character, which you get unlock different and zany characters. The more that you play, there's like some requirements of getting certain ones, like certain high scores and stuff like that, but you can get most of them just by playing the game. And this level is going to be another kind of like a tutorial level that shows how like the game is actually played out. And we start off with having to make onion soup, and you have to grab the ingredients, bring them over to the chopping board, chop them up, put them in the soup, and let it cook, of course. Then once you're done, you have to put on a plate before you can serve it, and then you bring it over to this like little conveyor belt where you earn points based on how fast that you completed the order. And you can kind of get like a idea of that by like that bar in the top left that slowly goes down. Right now it's at like very green, and you get a higher tip for the faster that you get it, which gets you more points. So you can see in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. After a certain amount of time, the dishes show back up next to the conveyor belt as 30. And this is a neat concept I think Overcooked created, but you take the dishes over to the sink and you wash them. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in real life or anywhere else before, but I think that's a really neat concept of washing the plates after you eat them. And ever since I started playing Overcooked, I have been an avid dishwasher, all thanks to this game. And I cannot eat any meals without having a clean dish or a clean bowl or clean fork first. So I'm really thankful to the team behind this game that introduced us to this concept of washing dishes. A lot of haters are gonna comment down below and say, why wash dishes if they're just gonna get dirty again later? Well, my friend, that's the point. It's kind of like making your bed. You know, you're just gonna sleep in it at the end of every day and make it all messed up again, so why make it? Okay, so I think you get the point of this level. You cut a bunch of fucking onions and cook them and serve them on a plate. That's really all there is to it. But after we beat our first level, we get 3 stars, of course. It was not a challenge at all. It's not supposed to be. It's the first level. We also unlock a new chef as well. So moving forward a couple levels, we find ourselves on a pirate ship, which was kind of challenging at first because we're still new to the game and it's like shifting the things everywhere, the tables, the plates, the everything, and we're still really trying to figure out how to cooperate and coordinate. And this level was just chaotic whenever we first played it, but hey, we got the second achievement for completing a level on a pirate ship, which is really just like a participation achievement. You get it for playing the game. So fast forward a couple levels and we're making some fancier shit like these wonderful hamburgers, which are kind of fun to cook because you gotta like grill a patty, chop up some veggies. Sometimes customers are weird and they just want some meat on a bun. Don't know why you'd want that, but hey. And we inadvertently got another achievement by overcooking one of the patties, because in this level there's like a timed earthquake that will just like shift half of the like arena, or like I guess like kitchen you would say, so that you can't access it unless you're already on it, which created a lot other challenges communicating and figuring out what each person's going to do. So we just kind of like had one person on each side in order to beat the level. But beating the levels in itself isn't really challenging in this game. It's going to be getting the 3 stars on each level that's going to be pretty challenging. And that is 2 out of 11 achievements. This is another unique level that I wanted to go over on here, not just because I get an achievement at the end, but because it's one of the more unique levels. I mean, we're going to be getting an achievement anyways for each of these like different unique places that we're in, and this one was very challenging at first because, like I said, this game takes a lot of coordination, cooperation. Like, it would be a miracle if you had like 2 people like not talking to each other, like trying to beat this game. I'm sure that they could eventually do it, but it is going to take a lot longer than if you're sitting next to someone and talking to each other in real time. But we get another achievement here for beating the Meals on Wheels, and that gives us 4 out of 11 achievements already, and we've only been playing this game for probably like an hour and a half now. Next up, we got some British penguins who are requesting a lot of fish and chips, and you play on this little iceberg that kind of like tilts back and forth a little bit. It's also very slippery, as you can see there. Kind of makes it a lot harder. It's more kind of like I guess like a, I don't know if you could call it platforming, but more of like a platforming challenge on this one, because everything's like all next to each other. You don't have to really do anything except for not slide off of the iceberg, which is actually very challenging, as you can see, especially more so others. Eventually, the British birds have had their fill of fish and chips, and we complete the level, getting another achievement for beating a level in a unique area, this time it being the Arctic. So here you can see the status on some of the achievements that we still need to get. Hero of Time, just for beating the game, and all the trimmings, which is be awarded 3 stars in every kitchen. And I found that mostly just playing the game, that status bar goes way up, because after so long, you start to need to get a certain amount of stars to play the next level. So you have to go back and replay levels, and some of them you do need to get 3 stars on in order to have enough stars to get to the next level. So that achievement kind of fills itself out as you play. Coming up next on our list of kitchen ecosystems, we have a haunted mansion, where the main trope is that the counters shift, and in subsequent levels, they're bathed in darkness. Like, you can't really see anything. There's an occasional lightning flash. I'll go over one of those levels later whenever I talk about getting 3 stars on every level for the one achievement. But this level introduces pizzas. You make them with sausage and cheese and mushrooms and tomatoes and dough, and you put them in these new pizza machines. Kind of reminds me of that one Webkins game where you made pizzas for your customers and you got to upgrade your kitchen. That was one of my favorite games. Now that we cooked the pizzas, we come to an end on this level in the Haunted Mansion, and we get another achievement, number 6 out of 11, and that's another one just for beating one of those unique locations, with this one being the Haunted Forest. Just when we thought that we were out of places to go to, the game throws not one, but 2 entire different areas that we can go to. And the first one is the space station, and it's pretty cool. I like the background and just like the colors of it. It's kind of like a, you know, space themed. But this one has like this, you're kind of locked in these 2 different areas. You can go to the other person's area, but they have to like call you over. Actually, you can't go. Never mind, scratch that, because you have to call it over yourself. So it's really a challenge, because like only one person can do things at once. So you kind of have to like grab all of the vegetables and ingredients and whatever and bring them over, and then send the thing over for the next person to work on. But it's actually a lot more challenging than you think, because you want to try to get like as much as you can without like wasting too much time for the other person, and it's kind of hard to gauge like what is the perfect ratio of like ingredients to get before you bring the docking station thing over. But after we beat this one, we get yet another achievement, bringing it us to 7 out of 11 achievements. This level was literally hell. Not just the place that we're in, but how difficult it was. There's these platforms like right in the middle that you can see, and they'll eventually go away. And there's those fireballs that are constantly going down that path. If you get hit by them, you basically die and you have to wait a little bit to respawn. And that makes the level very challenging. I actually don't think it's this level where the platforms move, but in a similar level upcoming, never mind, it does move right there. See, and they like make new paths and make some of the paths go away, so you have to like go the whole way around, and then if you get hit by the fireball, you have to fucking respawn. We honestly were not able to beat this level on our first try because of how challenging it was. Those annoying fireballs just keep going down the middle of the arena, and then you have like this super narrow ass pathway that you have to get across while trying not to get hit by the stream of fireballs. But eventually we did end up completing the level, and we got our 8th achievement for beating a level in the underworld, which gives us 8 out of 11, 3 left, and the next 2 are going to be significantly more challenging than the last 8. This right here, the pecketing, is going to be the single hardest, most challenging level in the entire game. So we get a little bit of an intro scene where Mr. Onion King employs his dog Kevin and a mini helicopter to help us defeat the spaghetti monster by feeding him a lot of meals, which I guess makes sense. We have to appease the spaghetti monster by feeding him burgers and lettuce and tomatoes, and yeah, he actually does just eat lettuce sometimes. You just chop up a piece of lettuce and put it on a plate and feed it to him. But this level was so difficult. It actually took us multiple nights to beat because of how challenging it was, and it really tests all of the teamwork and coordination and cooperation that we've built up throughout the entire game. So there are many reasons why this particular level are a lot more challenging than any of the other ones, and it makes sense because it is the final level and we need to put to the test all of our knowledge and skills of the game. One of the things that makes it a lot more challenging is you have this platform in the middle that's constantly shifting and changing the lanes that you need to take around the kitchen, sometimes just completely blocking off areas of the kitchen. And you have this timer of 12.5 minutes in the bottom right where you need to get everything done, but it doesn't also give you a goal, so you don't really need to know necessarily like what you need to do to beat this level, except just keep cooking things and feeding the big giant spaghetti monster on the right. The cool thing about this finale though is that you end up making all the dishes that you learned in the main game, and that's also what the secret to this level was. Was a set amount of dishes that you needed to get through in the time limit. So that score in the bottom left doesn't really mean anything at all for this level. I think it's just there for like high score purposes if you wanted to come back and replay it, but it has nothing to do with beating the actual level. And we eventually were able to get through all the dishes, and to top it off, he wanted a lettuce and tomato salad, which was very easy, and we had plenty of time to spare on this final run that we were able to beat it. By Brussels sprouts, that's a line right there. We were able to defeat the spaghetti monster and save all of the Onion Kingdom. Hooray! And we got an achievement for it too, the Hero of Time, for completing Overcooked and saving the Onion Kingdom, which gives us 9 out of 11 achievements. So just by playing the game, you're able to get just about all of the achievements. You didn't really have to like try to do anything special for them. You just kind of get them by playing the game as I was going over. Now that we got all but 2 of the achievements out of the way, for the rest of the video, I'm just going to be showing you guys some clips of the levels that we had to get 3 stars on for all the trimmings achievement, which, as I went over, is for getting all 3 stars on all of the levels in the main game. and these clips are just going to show you guys the mechanics of the game better and kind of like highlight some of the challenges of some of those more frustrating levels. This level right here is probably one of the longest that took us to get 3 stars, and I think it's pretty apparent because the whole kitchen is made of ice, so it makes it a lot slippery and harder to navigate across, and you have to continually make your way across all 3 areas of the kitchen. So you can like have like a whole pot of soup already done cooking up there in the top left, and whenever you bring it over, if you slip and fall into the water, then your entire meal is just gone. Like it just disappears. So you have to be really careful, but you also have to keep maintaining that speed and coordination, or else you're not going to get enough points to get the 3 stars. Going back to one of the hell levels, I picked the hardest one to show you guys, and the reason being it's so hard is because you're both trapped on your own islands, as you can see, with your own ingredients. So you have to coordinate with your partner to get the right ingredients cooked and chopped for the meals that you need. Like you can't make a dish yourself, and you're trapped on an island. You can make it across. I've done it, but it's very challenging, and most of the time it's not worth it. You'll probably just drop whatever you're carrying over. You also have to be careful with the timing of things as well, like whenever you place them on like the grills and in the pots, because if you place them in the dishes at the wrong time, they'll start cooking and they'll go around the corner where you can't reach them and catch fire. And then now you have to dispose of it, which is the easiest way is just tossing it in the lava. But that wastes a lot of time and can often be the reason why you don't get 3 stars on this level. So this is the last level that I wanted to show you guys. And it's also the last level that we had to get 3 stars on so we can get the all the trimmings achievement. And I think this level is really unique because you have these different modules that each have their own ingredients and things. Like only 2 of them that you see right here have the conveyor belt to deliver your orders on, and then only 2 of them have plates as well. And you switch them around these buttons in the middle, those green buttons. And I accidentally trapped my girlfriend in one of the modules, but hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And obviously, we get 3 stars on this level, so I think I made the right choice. She wasn't too happy about it, but we beat it, and that's what matters. So after we beat this level, we get the 3 stars. We get the coveted all the trimmings achievement, which gives us 10 out of 11 achievements. And I'll go into the last achievement here, which you just have to complete a kitchen in versus mode. So I wanted to save this achievement for last because it was obviously an easy achievement. I could have just done this like by myself with like another controller, but I wanted to do it against my girlfriend so we could prove who is the best chef on Overcooked. And now we both know how to play the game, so there's no excuses. She knows the controls, I know the controls. We got 3 stars on all the kitchens. We know what we're doing. And this is kind of another interesting level because you have like 2 chefs and you can like control both of them at once, but you can only like complete an action with like your main character that you can switch between. And it's like kind of hard because you're using like one stick to control the one character and the other stick to control the other character. So I guess that was probably be a little bit more challenging for people like my girlfriend who don't play a lot of video games. But it was still a close competition, and it looks like I only completed one more order than her, and I was a little bit faster on the other order, so I had a bit more points from all the tips. But after we completed that, we get the final achievement. That is 11 out of 11, and that is another game we have 100%ed. Hopefully, Xbox adds in something like PlayStation does with the Platinum trophies. I heard some rumors saying that they were looking into something like that, and I think that would be really cool and give us more of an incentive or more of like a reward for getting all the achievements in games. This concludes another completionist video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Maybe let me know if there's any games that you guys want to see me work on next, maybe some specific achievements. Up next, I don't really know what game I'm going to do. Maybe Overcooked 2, but we'll have to see. Anyways, bye for now.